Hello and welcome to highlandleague.net. My name is Andy Skinner and this is the first of a new series in which I'll be rounding up the week's Highland League news in a brief video bulletin. The aim of this is simply to review the week's news in a concise way, and we'll start by going back to last Sunday. Buckie Thistle have been one of the most active teams this week, and the week began with the Jags announcing the signing of Aaron Shand, the Newmarket striker who netted 42 goals last season. Buckie beat off competition from Keith, Rothes and Huntly for the player who began his career with Formartine United. And one of his competitors for a striking berth at Victoria Park next season will be Nicky Smith, who has finally joined from Lossiemouth following a month-long effort to sign him. Meanwhile, Kevin Small has returned to the club after a year with Cove Rangers, and he will occupy the role of player assistant manager alongside new boss Gary Hake. It's Martin McMullen's testimonial summer with Lossiemouth, but the vastly experienced midfielder is on the move, having signed for champions Forest Mechanics. Charlie Rowley was delighted to get his man, but McMullen will be assured of an emotional send-off on his Lossie testimonial. However, one player who Forest didn't manage to land is former Inverness Cally Thistle midfielder Andrew Gregg, who turned down the champions along with other Highland League clubs to join Brora Rangers. And now joining Smith and McMullen in leaving Lossiemouth are Kevin Stewart and Stephen Sim, who look set to join New Elgin, with JJ Urquhart still looking for a new club. However, they've attempted to begin the rebuilding job by bidding for Rothes defender Michael Dunn. However, it's been rejected by the Spaysiders, with Graham McBeath desperate to keep hold of the man who will captain Rothes next season. Rothes themselves have lost several first-team players, including goalkeeper Ricky Horn, but this week moved to bring in two keepers to compete for the number 1 jersey. Rhys Fife, formerly of Turriff United, joins from Lewis United in a deal that will see Michael McKinnon go in the opposite direction, while Greg Sim has also signed on loan from Cove Rangers. Centre-half Scott Dunn has signed from Dufftown. Meanwhile, McBeath has brought in Russell Ord from Ellen as his goalkeeping coach. Formartine have been again among the most active teams in the transfer market, and this week they brought in no fewer than 4 new faces. Firstly, the man of many Highland League clubs, Michael Ewan, has signed for Steve Patterson's side following a spell abroad in Australia, and he is joined by Inverurie Locos stalwart Tommy Wilson and Cove defender Stephen Jeffrey, while youngster Callum Dingwall joins up at North Lodge Park after being released by Inverness Cally Thistle. Leaving the club is goalkeeper Derek Suter, who has signed for 2nd Division for Athletic. Now, Huntly are on the search for a new chairman following the resignation of Sandy Salmon from the position. Salmon has recently moved into a new job in the oil industry and cited his increased workload as the reason behind his decision. Devon Vale have also been busy on the goalkeeping front, with Blair Tate leaving to join neighbouring Devon's side, and that has created an opening for 16-year-old Ewan MacDonald, who has penned a deal to join Charlie Charlesworth's first-team squad. Also extending his terms at the club is youngster Kyle Ray, who broke into the first team last season, with his services secured for the next 2 years. Vale are also set to raid the junior ranks as they look to strengthen further, and are close to signing Ivan Sinclair and Craig Morrison from Stonehaven and Ellen United respectively. Both players featured under Charlesworth at Lossiemouth last season. Fraserburgh announced towards the end of the week that they have strengthened their squad ahead of the new season by bringing in 4 players. Rothes midfielder Michael Fletcher has signed along with Maud Pear, Xander Davidson and John Willocks, while former Inverness Cally Thistle youngster Mark Noble completes the quadruple swoop. That brings us on to yesterday's 10th annual fans tourney at Lossiemouth playing fields. The competition was won by Lossiemouth United Bucksbuds after a penalty shootout against Buckie Thistle Taylor, with Jonathan Kellis scoring the decisive penalty. Cove Rangers won the toilet bowl section, while the wooden spoon went to Elgin City McMicken. And finally, having come to the end of the month, June was another successful one for the web stats on highlandleague.net, with 91,532 visitors over the course of the entire month. Another very good achievement given that June sees no football played. However, we've been able to keep the website flowing with a number of big stories breaking throughout the month. and the full stories can of course be viewed still on the website from last week, and there's sure to be more to come in the following days as pre-season friendlies get underway, and we will also of course be continuing our end of term report card series, so stay with highlandleague.net. Thanks very much for your time at the end of this first video blog, and I will see you next week. Goodbye.